Today is all about a review since we have a quiz in our next session. We have been working on writing linear equations, and our main focus was writing them in slope-intercept form. Y is equal to mx plus b. You should remember that slope is represented by the variable m, and the variable b represents the y-intercept. Now I'm still seeing a little bit of problems with this, so I'm going to go over each of the types an additional time here with a little bit of practice so that you can see exactly how this works. When I'm giving you slope, which is m, and y-intercept, which is b, you just simply keep the variables x and y and just replace the m, in this case with -2, and b, in this case, which is -4. All you're doing is replacing these two key components, slope and y-intercept. Second example, you want to just replace the value of m and the value of b. Remember to put the x coordinate right next to that slope and replace the b. In my third problem, I have y is equal to, well, slope is 1, and 1 times x is just x. And there's my equation for number 3. And in the last one, my slope is 0. So think about how if m is equal to 0, and I'm multiplying that times x, and then adding my b, which is 3, I just get this constant y is equal to 3. Those are the ones where you're given all the information and you just replace it in. In the second type, you need to do one thing before you can write the equation. You need to find the value of b. We have the slope, but we don't know what the value of b is, and that's what we need to write the equation. We'll go to the model again, y is equal to mx plus b, and this time we have a value of x and a value of y. So y is 11, our slope is 5, our x value is 2, and we're solving for b. You simplify, and then you subtract that over to isolate b, and you will see that b is equal to 1. Once you have the slope and the y-intercept, you have your line. Replace back that y. We need the y. We know that our slope is 5. That was given. We calculated our b, and that's a positive 1. Let's see that again. Given the x and y coordinates as well as the slope, we have 8 is equal to -2 times -1 plus b. Solving for b, we need the y-intercept. We don't know what that is. We simplify here by multiplying. We'll subtract the 2 over, and we'll see that b is equal to 6. Since I have my slope and y-intercept now, I have my equation. Y is equal to -2 times x plus 6. Again, the x and y variables get replaced back into the equation for the final answer. We're not substituting in the numbers at that point. The last one of this type, y is equal to 2 times the -4, which is x, plus b. We are solving for b, so we can write the equation. We'll multiply, and we'll get a -8. We'll add 8 to both sides, and we'll see that b is equal to 2. Again, writing the equation, you start off with y. It's equal to your slope, which is 2, times x, and we found our y-intercept to be 2. Take the time to really look at this because some of you were putting in too many numbers in the final equation. Then the third type of slope-intercept equation writing was when we were given the 2 points. Given the 2 points, we need to first find the slope and then find the y-intercept. We need those two key things. We need the value of m, We need the value of b in order to write the line. So we go back to our slope formula and we substitute in our y2 minus y1, finding the change in the y values over the change in the x values. And we'll see that we get 6 over 2, which simplifies to 3. So my slope is 3. Now I need to use one of my points, and I generally pick the first point. So I'll use my x1, y1 right here. And I'll say y is equal to m times x plus b. This is what we did on the previous problems. We're just adding one thing left to it is by finding the slope first. Subtract your 9, and you'll see that b is equal to negative 5. Now that we have all the information, we write y is equal to 3x minus 5. One more review problem here. We're going to be solving for slope first. We need slope, and we need a y-intercept. Given 2 points, we'll find the slope, 10 minus 6 over 2 minus a negative 2. Change means we're subtracting, add the opposite. Simplifying, we get our slope is equal to 1. Now find your b. Your y-intercept, you'll take your y is equal to mx plus b. Again, I'll go through the steps nice and easy. We'll take our 6, our m is 1, our x is negative 2, solve for b. We get our negative 2 plus b. We'll add 2 to both sides, and b is equal to 8. If we have a slope and a y-intercept, we have the slope-intercept form. Y is equal to, well, 1 times x is just x, plus b, which is 8. And there is all of the forms of writing the linear equation in slope-intercept form. We then went into a little discussion about the point-slope form. In point-slope form, we are given generally the slope and a point, and we go to the model. Now this is our x1, y1. And all we need to do is replace the x1, y1, and the slope. So in this first one, I'll get y minus 2 is equal to the slope 5x minus 3. And again, we showed how to convert this, but that won't be on the quiz. Let's do the second. We have y minus, now I have a negative 2, so I'm going to put that negative 2 in there, is equal to negative 3 x minus 4. Now if you remember, we don't want to leave it like that. We want to simplify that. So when we get a negative coordinate, we will just write it as the positive. If you want to write it out in 2 steps, you can. One last one, we have y minus a negative 3. So again, if I wrote that as a negative, I'm going to rewrite it in just a moment. And that's 2 minus a negative, and I put the wrong thing here, sorry. This is a negative 1, and this is my negative 3. So when I want to simplify this, remember if these coordinates are negative, when I write it in, they'll be positive. I just have to add the opposite following the rule, and there's your point-slope form, and that's what you'll see on our quiz in our next session.